Good morning, good evening, and afternoon, everybody. Yes, I am switching it up today. We are completely random. How's it going, everybody? My name is Ruben, otherwise known as Nestlink, sometimes known as Nestlink68, depending how you find me. I'm a former military guy turned journalist, working away in the podcasting. One thing's never changed about me is I'm a complete nerd. So I love talking about video games, comic books, and, well, pretty much all things nerdy. You know, I used to have a radio show talking about this kind of stuff. Now it's my time to shine with Nerd is the Word. You heard? Welcome back to another episode of Nerd is the Word, have you heard? And those of you who are brand new to the show, welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you like the show. And, well, let's begin. For starters, I want to say thank you to my good friend Leslie D. Armand for making me the Nerd is the Word, have you heard banner, or picture that you seen just a second ago. That's our new logo, I guess. He's a good friend of mine. We used to work together at Nestle Dryers. Here's a fun fact. I actually got fired on Veterans Day. Those of you remember, I was in the Marine Corps. And my first job out of the Marine Corps was that. And I got fired on Veterans Day. I got hired on my birthday, fired on the Veterans Day. So it's like a happy birthday to me. Now go fuck yourself, you veteran. What a good kick in the pants. But Leslie's a good friend of mine. You know, like I said, he's a fellow nerd. He's a fan of the show, and he gave me this cool banner. So thank you, Leslie. I love it. It's amazing. I would like to show you some of the other designs he had before the one we have now. So the first one he showed me was this one right here, which, if you look closely at it, I couldn't tell if it was from Bob's Burgers or from Rick and Morty, and then he corrected me and told me it was from Rick and Morty, and I was like, okay, cool. So now I know. The second one that we see here today is one that he was almost finished with, and he added, he made it look like Dragon Ball Z. I thought it was pretty interesting, and I said to him, lose the hat, make it say, hey, you heard, because, it makes a shout out. I gave him some few things to add here and there. I gave my 2 cents, and he worked. He was a really good, he's a good designer, artist, whatever. He took my descriptions, and I want to say thank you, Leslie, for having us the banner. I would also like to give a huge shout out to my good friend Spencer. One reason is because he's actually working on a theme song for the show. Yeah, you heard that right. You see, the music that you hear now is just not copyrighted music that I get from the app that I'm using to go ahead and make the show. So what you hear is, I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know who makes it. But pretty soon we'll have video music, and hopefully I can go ahead and share what his music does. He's a good friend of mine as well. And another reason I'm thinking of him is because he gave me a copy of Metroid Prime on the Switch, the remastered one that was on GameCube. You see, I never actually played Metroid Prime ever. I played Metroid Prime, the game, like the 2D versions. Like I played Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, which I recently just beat and I did it under 2 hours 11 minutes, so I got the second, with the 100 items, I got 100%, so basically got the second best ending, and I kind of cheated on that one, but I'll get more information on that one. But as far as Metroid Prime, I never actually played this game on the GameCube, and I'm glad to play it on Switch. I'm playing with a brand new pair of eyes. I'm not using YouTube, or I have no knowledge about this game at all, and I know a lot of you would love to see me play this game. Just give me some time. Right now, it's just got to work on getting a video capture card. It will be happening in time soon, and I'm actually just going to play this game a little longer before I actually show you guys from the beginning how I play. Now, I know a lot of you would like to see me play some video games more, and I would like to address that issue real quick. So, if I do play video games, I would like to say I would not play any games that are brand new live, for the sake of the fact that I don't want to reveal any spoilers for those of you who wish to know what's going to happen in the game, or play for yourselves. That would be something for you. I will be able to play games that haven't for at least a year plus. You got some time by then. And if you're not looking it up on Wikipedia or something like that to find out the ending of the game, or looking up on YouTube already to find out how it's going to end, then sucks to be you. You had a year plus. I remember one time I played Final Fantasy with a friend of mine, Final Fantasy 7, and I accidentally ruined the ending for him, even though the game's out there for years. It's like, dude, you had this whole time to play it, and I even said he could borrow a copy, so I feel kind of bad for that. So I don't want to do that to anybody else. This is the reason why I won't do video games that are this year. I will do video games that are remastered because they already have happened, and I would like to play games that I already know, or just games that I've never played but were too busy in the past. It's a long story, okay? There's a lot of games that are not this year that I will not play live for you people, just because I don't want to reveal spoilers. So I hope some of you can understand. So, maybe I'll do, instead of playing Tears of the Kingdom live, I'll do maybe Majora's Mask and tell you guys some fun facts. Would that be okay? Just let me know. Speaking of Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom dropped a new trailer this week. Have you not seen? I've seen it, and the fact that we get Ganondorf in what looks like to be in his full form, not in his Calamity form, it looks amazing. The fact that we see more time, and whatever that weird bunny-looking creature thing is, with the ears, we all saw that, right? I'm for one, am excited for this game. I love Legend of Zelda. Don't get me wrong. we all know that I love Legend of Zelda. One of my favorite games, like I said before, was the Majora's Mask. And this one, the only thing I want to know is if the amiibo functionality, if you're going to be able to bring anything from the old game to the new one, or if the amiibos from the old games are still going to be processed in this new one. Or I would like to, because I have the Fierce GD outfit, and I did it like by cheating. And before that, I'd like to say by cheating, I mean I took the amiibo and I put it on, and if it wasn't something I wanted, I would reset the game after. Oh, so I would save first, then put the amiibo on, and if it was something I didn't want, I would reload, do the amiibo again, reload until I got what I wanted, and then I would just basically change the next day and do the amiibo process all over again until I got what I wanted. Has any of you guys done that before? I have. Speaking of cheating, like I said earlier, when I said I played Metroid Fusion, I said I played that game a long time ago when I was in high school. It was a fun game. I loved it. I just did it to beat the game. I didn't actually do it for like the completion bonuses, and I didn't even know there was any at the time. As I got older, I realized that the faster you beat it and the more items you collect, the better bonus you get at the end, which is basically just the artwork at the end. And so basically, when I was playing Metroid Fusion, I YouTubed where every item was and how to progress, and I got within 2 hours and 11 minutes with the process. I found out later that you have to beat it in under 2 hours, so that's another thing I would probably do in the future. But okay, so when it comes to cheating, I don't actually like to cheat a lot unless I've already beat the game. So maybe you guys like to cheat when you first start a game, or maybe YouTube it before you How do you guys feel about cheating in games? I mean, like I said, it's not like I'm cheating in Fortnite where I'm using what do they call the aimbots or whatever. I don't even like Fortnite, to be honest. I fucking hate that game. No, don't get me wrong. If you like Fortnite, that's great, but it's not a game for me. And I'm not just saying because I'm a military guy. It's because for me, it's annoying, okay? And you'll never see me play that live or anything like that. I just want to say that now. You'll never see me play Fortnite live, nor will I ever ask any of my guests to play Fortnite with me. And for this, one of the main reasons I have an issue with this game is because I was actually trying to learn to play with my son. And what happened was, I was learning with a friend, and she invites her friends, because the best way to learn is to play with a group, so you can learn a thing or two. But the one thing I had a problem with was with her nephew, or I'm not sure what he is. He's like a little kid, and every time these people they've been playing for years. I've barely just started over a month, and this kid's annoying. Every 5 seconds, pow, shoots, got him, got him, got him, got him. Could you imagine just hearing that every 10 seconds? Like, you get shot, got him. Okay, you spawn back in within 5 seconds. Got him! I got so annoyed by that, I actually started doing it every time. I started getting better, and I was doing it back. It's like, got him! Got him! Got him! I couldn't take it anymore. I can't stand that kind of, so Fortnite is off limits. Don't ever bring that up to me, ever. I'll just say that now. And those of you who are going to be a troll about it, you guys suck. That's all I'm going to say. Fortnite is not my kind of game. I'll play Call of Duty, even though that's not another game I really won't play, but at least then, I like that one because the map's shorter and, you respawn back in seconds, and it's a lot different than Fortnite, I guess, but never actually ask me to play Fortnite, please, ever. 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 But as far as other games, I know, like I said, I do have some guests planned. I would like to say that now. Some of you have asked if you could be guests in the show, and I would like to say no. Now, I have to ask some of you to be a guest in the show, that's one thing, but if you're asking me, sorry, no, and if you're a fan of the show, or, I'm just gonna say sorry, I don't accept fans at the moment, mostly because we don't have a general audience at this time frame, and I would like to know most of you, and, I would hear your concerns, but as far as having you on the show, please, I'm just gonna say no. Did you know the Power Rangers is coming up on its 30th year anniversary? Now, the first reason I knew that is because I'm a huge fan of Power Rangers. I grew up watching Power Rangers as a kid, and my favorite Power Ranger was red until we saw the Green Ranger on screen, and then my favorite color actually became green. True story. My favorite color is green because of the Green Power Ranger. In fact, now I can actually say I still love Power Rangers, and I still do love for the Red Ranger, and I really love when he wore the dragon shield, when he had the Dragon Zord coin, and if you're a fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But another reason why I know that the Power Ranger is coming up on its 30th year anniversary is because Netflix is having a special. Power Ranger Once and Always. And most of the returning cast is coming back. We have even Barbara Goodson, who voiced Rudy Repulsa, and we have Rachel Horvitz, who played Alpha 5, returning as voicing those characters. A lot of the original cast is coming back. As far as I know, it's not going to have Amy Jo Johnson, who is the original Pink Ranger, or Austin St. John, who is the original Red Ranger. I can't really say why for Amy Jo Johnson, but one reason for Austin St. John was because he was doing some shady things behind closed doors. I don't want to get into specific details because it's possible it's still proven false, or there's possible still claims still going on. So I don't want to like put oil on the fire, or I don't want to say what's going on, but that's basically what was heard, and it's just hearsay at this point. So I'm not really sure why he's not returning. And the reason why they said Amy Jo Johnson is returning is for money issues, but she's also denying those claims. So, but we are getting most of the Power Rangers back, which is great. I mean, it looks pretty okay for what it looks like. I'm not gonna lie, it looks like the cast is. I love Power Rangers, don't get me wrong, and I wouldn't mind meeting the cast, but at the same time, it looks like, well, they're cashing in on this hype train as much as they can. The Netflix show, it does look promising, but at the same time, I feel like it's just more like a cash grab. That they're cashing into the nostalgia that was, us as kids. I mean, I'm still gonna watch it, and I'm still gonna watch it with open arms. But I seen the trailers, and I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really I didn't feel that nostalgia feeling. I didn't feel like this is the Power Rangers I grew up on. I feel like this is just Power Rangers that lost its prime. I wouldn't mind to see them on another episode of Power Rangers in the future or something like that, but I don't think the Netflix special is going to look any good. But that's just my opinion. Again, I might be wrong, so if I am wrong, I'll come back down here and say, hey, I was wrong, the Power Rangers special was awesome, and I'll say that wearing this helmet. Okay, I probably won't because you guys won't hear me, but just know the feeling will be there, okay? Not going to say the Power Rangers is going to be bad, but what are you guys' thoughts? Do you think if you're a Power Rangers fan, do you think it's going to be good? Or do you think, like me, it's going to kind of lame? Let me know. So let me ask you something. Do you like My Chemical Romance? If so, you might know the name Gerard Way. Now, are you well aware this man has actually created comic books? In fact, one of the comic books he created is The Umbrella Academy, which, as you may notice, I actually wear the jacket for. But another comic book that he creates is one that I actually would like to talk about today, besides The Umbrella Academy, is actually called Doom Patrol. See, the reason why I bring that up is because every time I try to recommend that show to, well, basically anybody, people look at me and think I'm nuts. And then when they try to look at it, they no. It's not a show for them. It's a show on HBO Max, and it's a DC show. And I don't normally promote DC anything, movies at least. But as far as TV shows, I really highly recommend Doom Patrol. You see, it's actually comic book based. And like I said, Gerard Way, who, basically is a frontman for My Chemical Romance, has a leading hand in the show. In fact, there's actually Easter eggs in the show that say Gerard Way. There's a scene where they have the MCR playing music. There's a scene where they say, you see Gerard Way's name in a billboard. I really highly recommend the show because it's actually, really faithful to the comic books. It's zany, it's comical, it's fucked up. If you like The Boys, then you should like this show as well. It's really funny, and Brendan Fraser is my favorite on the show. Brendan Fraser, he's getting the praise he deserves, and he's on the show. He plays a character called Robot Man, and his portrayal of Robot Man is really funny. I highly recommend Doom Patrol if you get a chance to see it. Maybe you've seen a little bit of Doom Patrol if you watch Teen Titans. If you remember, it was part of Beast Boy show, old group that used to be before you joined the Titans. And if you watch the show Titans, now that's a show I don't like, and I only watch it for Nightwing because my favorite hero. But if you watch Titans the show, you'll remember that Doom Patrol actually spun off from that. And the reason why I'm bringing it up today is because one, nobody actually watches my recommendations. My recommendations. And two, is because the show is actually ending pretty soon. You see, the show's on its final run as is Titans. I'm sure all of you heard that, now that DC's under James Gunn's rule, and he has no say-so in this. And he said, hey, don't blame me. It's not my fault. It's the higher-ups above him, which I don't blame him at all either, because I like James Gunn's work. And the Flash movie, even though I don't agree with Ezra Miller staying in, I hope they do replace him by the end, especially if Flashpoint's a thing. Let's just say if you're a comic book fan, you know exactly how they can change this around. But I highly recommend Doom Patrol before it's too late. It's on HBO Max. It's a funny series. It's an amateur rated show. It's got characters that are crazy, unbelievable, all these powers. It's the best way to describe Doom Patrol is imagine the X-Men on drugs. That's the best way to describe it. Except there's less of them. Instead of a whole team. Instead of a whole mansion, it's a mansion but with 5 or 6 people. So I highly recommend Doom Patrol. I know I'm not really giving you guys much information on this because I don't want to say too much spoilers, but the best way I can say reasons to watch it besides Brendan Fraser as Robot Man and the fact that it's funny is hopefully somebody actually watches something I recommend. So this is me throwing my first recommendation on Nerds the Word You Heard, and I'm telling you, have you heard me recommending Doom Patrol? So if you watch the HBO Max, please let me know if you like it. If you do, let me know what was your favorite part, because I'm only saying it because the show is ending soon, and I really think that, Doom Patrol is a really good comic book. Not just saying because Gerard Way wrote it, and because he did the Umbrella Academy, which also is on its final season, by the way, if you didn't know that. Yeah, Umbrella Academy, we only have 3 books. We don't even have the Sparrow Academy book, but they gave us a season based on that, and the Hotel Oblivion, if you saw season 3 of the Umbrella Academy. And season 4, I have no idea what that's going to be about, to be honest. Like, I didn't even know what the Sparrow Academy was going to be about, because they haven't created the book for that yet. And now we're creating a 4th season, even though it's going to be the last season for Umbrella Academy. I have no idea where the direction is going. The series is really good for what it is, but it has nothing to do with the books. Like, there's hardly anything to do. Like, there's tidbits here and there with the books, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when we do see the fishbowl guy, I'm trying to remember his name. It's the tip of my tongue. I'll get to it in a minute. I'm sure I will. But in the books, he wasn't killed by the handler. He was killed by AJ. That's his name. So AJ. The guy the fishbowl guy in it. If you've seen Umbrella Academy, I'm sorry I'm mumbling a bit. It's just that I'm trying to get my pause, and a lot of you said that you'd rather me improvise instead of going on script. So again, this is me going up like improvising on my own right now. And so hopefully if you I'm trying to do in between both, like scripting and improvising. So, and I'm sorry that I sound all over the place. So this is how I normally sound. This is how I normally talk. So if I ever do live one day, this is how you would get, and I'm gonna apologize for that now again. Like I said, if I do talk fast, I apologize. I have ADHD. And I'm trying to do the best I can, but I'm going to say it one more time. Doom Patrol, I highly recommend that. If you like that, let me know if you liked it. So, another character I'd like to talk about a lot is Deadpool. I'm a huge fan of Deadpool. Like, I know it's crazy to believe. I like Deadpool, and he's actually one of my top 3. But I love Deadpool. Like, he was created by Fabian Nicieza and Rob Liefeld. And it's funny, too, when you look at it. Deadpool is actually a parody of a DC character called Deathstroke. In fact, Deadpool, Deathstroke, and his name, and even the name itself, Slade Wilson versus Wade Wilson. Slade Wilson is Deathstroke, Wade Wilson is Deadpool. See, he's basically a parody, and I love it. Like, Deadpool was created. The reason why he doesn't die is because the people in the dial. Rob Liefeld said that people in the Bible kept dying, and he wanted somebody who wouldn't die, so he created Deadpool. In fact, Deadpool used to be a villain before he became a superhero. Not many people know that. But the reason why I bring him up is because Deadpool 3 is coming out pretty soon, and they announced more characters to the show, or the movie, excuse me. So they had announced Blind Al's returning, Colossus, Vanessa, Doppinger's even returning. The only person they said hasn't returned yet is Weasel, but I've heard that he actually has complaints about him and things that are bad about him, so maybe it's a good thing that Weasel is returning for this movie. I'm not really sure. TJ Miller, right? That's his name, right? Yeah, TJ Miller. That things are going on with him. How do you guys feel about Disney owning Deadpool? Like, I'm kind of glad that he's going to be in the MCU, and I'd love to see him connect with Spider-Man. Like, they actually have a romance together, and there actually is a comic book of Spider-Man and Deadpool having a Yo Mama fight together. I actually have the comic book. It makes me laugh every time I want to read something, and it's so funny because like Deadpool ends up with this joke called Yo Mama Geddon. It's so bad, and I quote. It made a former Marine cry, and it basically kills you because you'll cry for days on end, and it'll make you dehydrated. That's the funny part about it. But he reads it to a kid and makes him cry for a couple days only. He says, "I only read it half to you, and you only cry out for a couple days. You'll be fine." But I'm excited for Deadpool. Like, I'm a little scared about being on Disney umbrella, but they said it's gonna be R-rated still. So let's just see how it works. Like I said, I'm excited that most of these guys are returning. And hopefully, we won't see any more Rocket Deadpool. And that ends it for today. My name is Ruben, otherwise known as Nestlink. I just want to let you guys know that next Sunday we will not have a new episode for the sake of medical reasons and just personal reasons in general. Just know that I will be back the week after the hiatus. It's just like I said, there's things going on right now, and I just need to take care of some things. And I'm going to try to make the show better as I go along. Like I said, I'm going to be looking at a lot of your critiques. I'm going to be working with some new programs. Like I said, I'm just brand new at this, and I'm doing the best I can. So bear with me, and thank you for staying with me through these first 3 episodes. I hope by next episode 4 we do a lot better. And like I said, I do take your critiques. I read all your comments. I do take everything in stride. So please and thank you. And I hope to see you guys next time.